In the Kundalini book, Swami Radhananda says the dance does not evolve through the effort of human beings, but through divine inspiration from above. It's not a matter of getting it perfect, it's a matter of making a connection. And I remember her saying, the space that you can make in your fingers and feet, the dexterity you have there, results in dexterity up here in your mind. So the more spaces you can make, the more you can stretch, the more you can stretch your mind. So we're all connected, like this isn't just my hand, this is part of me. It's part of my mind, and the way it works will have an effect on how my mind works. And so to remember that as you're learning, that nothing is wasted. So whatever little movement you can make, whatever little stretch you can stretch yourself is going to have a rippling effect in your whole entity, your whole being, because you're all connected. And so to learn about that space and time, to give yourself that space to learn in, and to learn about space, and to learn about time, and to learn about how much time it takes to learn. Learning happens step by step. Step by step, like in the dance. Those art forms, whether it's dance or music or painting or whatever, the connection, if it's to the divine, is very inspiring to other people. But it requires discipline to get you to that place where you can translate the feelings that you have into something that will inspire other people. So both things have to be there. And then when you have the discipline, you can put the passion into that devotion. It's like the two begin to work together. It's like learning anything. Like once you get to know it really well, you can just put your passion behind it. And that inspires other people, which is one of our purposes in this life. That we're all here to inspire. So who are you then is translated into the work that you do on yourself, the work that you do, your movements, your dance, your symbols, your music, your devotion. That's all who you are. Not one part of it isn't you. And so when you know who you are, you can really go for it. So that all of these things are connected. The discipline, the passion, the devotion, the knowing who you are, and the learning it step by step. And so here we have a way to develop that, but we're so used to having these habits and these constructs about who we think we are, who we want to be, who people told us we are, that our mind is jammed with all these things. And so to have some way to clear it out, to clear it out, to clear it out, and to come into the present. So you're doing the dance, it's now. It's the next step. It's part of the dance, but that step is now. And so we become who we are. We're always becoming who we are. And in the Kundalini system, you see the God and the Goddess. Often, the God is the potential. The Goddess is what we're manifesting right now. And we always have more potential than we manifest. So it doesn't matter how good you get, you can still get better. because there's more there. It's just like this sky, like our mind is like the sky, but we capture it and put it into this construct of, this is my life and this is me. But then you start learning to dance and you get all confused, like, where are my feet? Where are my hands? Like, why don't they go together? Like, well, where's my mind? Like, what is she saying? And all of these things about how can something that expansive get so confused? Like, what is it that's stopping the movement? What is it that's learning the new step? How does it do that? And so, to think of the potential that you have in whatever you're doing, and that potential to be in the moment, in your body, in your mind, in the light, is like an incredible gift, incredible secret. So there are these places in us that keep us bound, like a slave to our habits. And in the teachings, they have a way, an exercise that you do called a tapas that burns the habit away. Because tapas is heat. It's like you warm up to something, or you warm something up, or you get it heated up so that it dissolves, or it's not such a big block. So you put the heat on. And Swami Radha's done that a number of times at the ashram. She's put the heat on when things have gotten stuck, when people go back to old habits. At one point, there was a tapas for men and women not talking, except for work in the ashram. And so that burned away some of the ideas of women thinking that they couldn't do things without a man, and men thinking that they needed a woman to talk to. Like, so a strength was built, like something was burnt away and something came in that was different. What we want to do is to take our ideal and make sure that we can burn away the things that stand in the way of that ideal. So you know what you want to go towards. And so you say, I'm going to put the heat on. I'm going to put the heat on myself so that I don't keep doing that. So I have a reminder. Swami Radha would stretch us quite often because she said that she was going to put us all under pressure so that we would grow into diamonds. And that meant that she was always pulling people out of the ashram and taking them to Spokane and then shaking them up and, and then sending them back. And so we would be shooken up because we didn't have as many people here, and they would be shooken up because they'd spent time with her. It's like incredible to give yourself that kind of a jolt, that kind of heat, that kind of passion to do something, that kind of intent. And that's what a tapas is. So to think for yourself, what is it within me that keeps me a slave? What is it in me that would be freed if I had a clear path? So like, it could be that, the emotions get in the way and you have this certain way of reacting. So you could determine how you are going to act differently. It may be something that you just do habitually, like just put things in your mouth and eat. And you may determine that for a certain period of time, you're going to see what happens if you don't do that. But you know when you think of who you are and who you want to be. And it doesn't need to be a big thing. We found that out. Like when you make it too big, it's too big. It's like... But it's good. the gods like Shiva would go into do tapas for years and years. Like that would mean he'd go into solitude and build up this power. And when you do that kind of a tapas, when you take on a tapas, you're sort of calling on that power to come to you. Instead of it being dispersed in a habit, you're calling on that power. And so what Shiva would do would sit in his ice cave and meditate and meditate and meditate and build up this power. So the force didn't have any, it had to come to him because of what he was doing. And so to you too, that power will come. You will have power over your weaknesses, your habits, whatever. But you have to bring it in. You have to use that concentration, and it's like the light. It burns away that dross. Or it's like the gold going through the furnace. It's like you put yourself for a very specific time and a very specific reason to gain the power. So you become free, step by step by step. So you have that at your disposal, like you have that power to use. So whether it's a concept you hold of yourself or an old habit, whatever, your choice.